We are sending a clear and unequivocal message that those who exploit our workforce, undermine our economy, and violate federal laws will be held accountable.
We need construction to cease immediately. We need all work to end on the site right now.
And shortly after the agents arrived at the plant and workers realized what was happening after word spread across the property, chaos ensued with many workers attempting to flee and some even running into a sewage pond and others hiding in air ducts.
Breaking news. ICE officials just raided the massive new Hyundai EV battery plant project near Savannah. This plant is part of Hyundai's new $12.6 billion Meta EV plant, which was supposed to bring a great number of jobs to the American people. However, what investigators say, many subcontractors hired unauthorized workers, leading to this massive operation. Let's check out this first clip.
Document agents were looking for records about violations to conceal or harbor aliens or examples of unlawful employment at the HLGA battery company. And the search warrant also states that investigators wanted records, business records for the battery company, its contractors, as well as its subcontractors.
This, in fact, was the largest single-site enforcement operation in the history of Homeland Security investigations.
I just heard about that a little while before the news conference, and I would say that they were illegal aliens, and ICE was just doing its job.
We are sending a clear and unequivocal message that those who exploit our workforce, undermine our economy, and violate federal laws will be held accountable.
Key takeaway from all of this is the scale. This wasn't just a random quote-unquote raid. Homeland Security, ICE officials spent months and months investigating this place and actually knew exactly when they wanted to make their move. While Hyundai insists that those who were detained were not their direct employees, it's hard to imagine a massive project of this size without the higher-ups noticing that something is just a little bit off, right? Let's go to the next part.
We need construction to cease immediately. We need all work to end on the site right now.
And shortly after the agents arrived at the plant and workers realized what was happening after word spread across the property, chaos ensued with many workers attempting to flee and some even running into a sewage pond and others hiding in air ducts.
It prompted a sharp response from the South Korean president. CNN's Mike Valerio is in Seoul with more on the reaction there.
Well, the headline from here is certainly that South Korea's president, Lee Jae-myung, is getting involved in this matter, telling his officials that, quote, all out necessary measures should be done to support Korean nationals in this matter and to resolve it as fast as possible. Now, the split screen from where he was just about 10 days ago is certainly dramatic, considering that he was at the Oval Office meeting with President Trump, talking about new investments that South Korea would make into a reality, making American shipbuilding again, improving investments in manufacturing in the United States. This battery factory, run by Hyundai as a joint venture with the other South Korean giant, LG, is certainly part of that narrative. And now, to see this operation, the biggest of its kind taken in the second Trump administration, it is so striking and has hit such an emotional chord with a multitude of people here in South Korea. Quite astounded that not just one or two or a few dozen South Koreans have been detained as part of this operation, but more than 300, a number confirmed by South Korea's Ministry of Foreign Affairs today.
That's huge, right? The president of South Korea is stepping in, offering support to the detained employees. This isn't just a basic little Georgia, Savannah issue, right? This is an international problem. The leader of another country is speaking on a raid in little old Savannah, Georgia. This has gone beyond just immigration enforcement. This is now about trade, international relations, and corporate trust. And let's just be real, right? The U.S. needs Hyundai and LG for EV battery production. So this can get real ugly really fast, guys. On to the next clip.
In a statement sent to CNN last night, Hyundai said the following regarding the immigration raid in Georgia. We are reviewing our processes to ensure that all parties working on our projects maintain the same high standards of legal compliance that we demand of ourselves. This includes thorough vetting of employment practices by contractors and subcontractors. The company also said that Hyundai has zero tolerance for those who don't follow the law. In an interview with CNN, former Deputy Homeland Security Secretary under President Trump, Ken Cuccinelli, said conducting this type of raid is a major undertaking.
That's the corporate line, though. Full of cooperation, distancing themselves from subcontractors, and stating that they made legal hiring processes, right? The real question is, how much responsibility does Hyundai bear if it's found that the companies under them did hire under laws that were illegal, essentially breaking the law? This situation here, it shows all the risks of massive global supply chains, right? And exactly what happens when subcontractors cut corners, and how a $12 billion project all of a sudden now is surrounded in nothing but scandal. As well as the workers caught up in all of this, right? They the ones paying the biggest price out of anybody. So what do you guys think out there, right? Do you think that Hyundai should bear the full responsibility for everything that has taken place? Or do you think that this is more of a government enforcement issue, right? Comment down in the comment section. I love to hear from you guys. And once again, this has been your guy, Clayton Arzino, signing out. Peace.